the lefties went berserk. They said this is eugenics, this is racist, this is Nazi. The thought, are you telling me that white women who are tall and fit and have ample bosoms, blonde hair, and blue eyes are more attractive than others? I don't buy it. I can't believe that. How can this thing be conceivable? Now, we contacted NBA players for comment. They were not available for comment because, as you've seen in all TV commercials, any black guy with a good job and nice house has a white wife. So that's the message. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't make the rules. These are the TV commercials that we watch on TV day in and day out.
Do you know what sapiosexual is, James?
What, sorry?
A sapiosexual.
I've no idea what's that.
It's someone who's different. It's
Sapiosexual.
sapiosexual is someone who is attracted to the way that someone's mind works. They're attracted to.
Is that why I'm not attracted to you?
They're attracted to personality. Exactly. See, I'm different. I like slags.
Yeah.
I identify when people are different.
You know, it's really fun because every week this show gets so fucked up, and working our way out of it and through it is actually
funnier than the actual show.
and pleasant and rewarding.
But just the whole thing.
And I always,
As much of it as possible.
I give him a hard time, but he gives me a hard time, and we love each other. But I always do what James tells me. So next we have Nicholas De Santo right here with me, an Italian-Iranian comedian, a stand-up comedian who sits today. One of the funniest, most acerbic, sarcastic comedians I know, very big on the UK comedy circuit. And he has come here today because he said he's going to talk about some of the biggest scandals that are going on in the news, which of course haven't been properly or fully reported by the mainstream networks and digital and print organisms. And he's going to tell us the real truth about what's happening. So, Nick, it's a real pleasure to have you. I just love your stuff. We all do. And hit us.
Thanks very much, Roger. The pleasure is all mine. Thanks for inviting me back to Deadliners in the upscale St. John's Wood. My first time performing in a venue with velvet seats and sitting down doing stand-up. A small crowd. Crowd is on the small side. It's okay. In the industry, we call it a bijou audience. The Italian saying says, pochi ma buoni, few ones, but good ones. Pochi ma buoni, which also is the slogan of the Lib Dem party. Now, let's start with women's football. Just concluded in Switzerland with England claiming a second consecutive title. But I wanted to talk to you about the host nation, the Swiss, very good at banking secrecy, not so good at football secrecy, because they tried to pull off a secret football match just before the tournament, a preparation match between the Swiss female national squad and the under-15 boys of Club Lucerne. Now, the Swiss, you should remember, have also arguably the world's sexiest female footballer in the person of Alicia Lehmann. So some argued this would have been unfair to the sexually charged teens and preteens of Lucerne Club under-15 boys. They were distracted and they might miss the target, and they did miss the target a lot, but they still managed to win 7-1. 7-1, they hammered the Swiss national team. Essentially, the Swiss female football team made the Iranian air defense look good on that day. In a stadium, behind closed doors, no spectators in the stadium. Looks like the Swiss football officials were onto something, but they didn't manage to keep this a secret. They go to the boys' locker room after the match. Well done, boys. This is a great achievement, yeah? Now, do you happen to have any other achievements of equal or bigger importance by any chance? Have you managed to memorize the capital cities of all 26 cantons of our beautiful Switzerland? Or perhaps you have recently removed the stabilizers off your bicycle. No, nothing? Yeah, we understand you are under 15, so probably this is the biggest achievement of your lives. Hammering the national football team 7-1, and they also boast the world's sexiest footballer. Now, do you awfully mind not telling anybody about this ever? Ping! What was that, Tobias? Oh, sorry. Tobias has already posted a picture of the scoreboard on Instagram. Verdammt. Now, swearing in German hopefully would be okay in this show. So the plan did not work. What were they thinking? And when asked how people would ever get over this scandal, the head of the Swiss Football Association said, well, people forgot about the Nazi goal, didn't they? They would get over this as well. Now, let's go to America for another scandal, the Kiss Cam scandal. Did you hear about it, guys? The Coldplay concert. Andy Byron, the CEO of a tech company, his worth was estimated at $50 million, had to resign after he and his lover, the head of the HR department of the tech startup Astronomer, were caught on the Kiss Cam schmoozing during a Coldplay concert. The picture went viral, and eventually both of them had to resign, the CEO and the head of the HR. And this triggered a very heated argument and debate online over privacy. Some people said privacy has to be respected at all times. And some people said, you know, it's a public place, a public concert, so it is right for people to be named and shamed for their immoral.
What's wrong with them kissing? Why would I?
No, it wasn't about, you kind of ruined my punchline.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
It's a
sorry.
live show or semi-live show. But no, it wasn't a problem about kissing, because it was about immoral choices like working for the HR department. You thought I was going for Coldplay, but I'm not one to go after easy targets. Everybody has gone after Coldplay,
Yeah,
but the immoral choice is
working in
after-
HR. Yeah.
Yes, working.
You're
in
absolutely right.
HR.
You're absolutely right.
Now, another scandalous decision by the UK government, not a done and dusted deal yet, but according to the reports, the Labour government is toying with the idea of lowering the voting age to 16. They want to give voting rights to 16-year-olds. And critics say this is a bad decision because 16-year-olds don't think properly, they are not reasonable, and they are usually a burden on the taxpayer. Now, reacting to the criticisms, an anonymous source in the government said, well, then why do we give voting rights to women then? That's a good point. Now, victory at the Supreme Court for President Trump. The Supreme Court has now green-lighted the government's initiative to potentially deport illegal aliens to third countries, such as South Sudan. Now, if you don't know what South Sudan is like, it's essentially like Rwanda, but without the tourism bureau. It's Rwanda without tourism. And also recently they opened the alligator Alcatraz detention facility. Did you hear about this?
Alligator Alcatraz, yeah.
Exactly. So this named obviously after the notorious Alcatraz penitentiary or prison in California. This is in the marshlands of Everglades in Florida, swamps infested with all kinds of snakes and, more importantly, alligators. There's only one way to go, and in case of potential evasion, the swamps, alligators, and snakes and other creepy crawlies attend you. Trump advised potential detainees who wanted to escape to run zigzag because alligators apparently only can follow you in a straight line. So he said, run in a zigzag, which is also good advice for Europeans who go to Christmas markets in case a Muslim on the car is going to run to them.
Oh, it's just, excuse me,
Zigzag.
an extremist Muslim terrorist, not a Muslim.
Well,
Wow.
I'm just happy as long as the media acknowledged that the car wasn't driverless because usually they say a car. But anyway, so alligator Alcatraz has triggered quite an uproar in the US, especially animal rights activists. Wouldn't you know it? They said a lot of these illegal aliens, they have a lot of drugs in their system. So if eaten, it would upset the stomach of the alligators. And also human rights activists said if eaten, it would upset the stomachs of the South Sudanese. Because it's a very okay. I know it's a touchy issue, but there is cannibalism. Now, if you remember, you British people, a few years ago, Boris Johnson got in hot water because he became the foreign secretary, and then everybody went after anything controversial he had said before that. And he had compared infighting within the Tory party to, quote, cannibalism in the Papua New Guinea, unquote. And people said, you can't say that. Now, fast forward a few years ago, Joe Biden came out and said, yeah, cannibals in Papua New Guinea, they ate my uncle. My uncle was flying a plane during the World War II, and they shot down the plane, and cannibals in Papua New Guinea ate my uncle. So that was a bit of a scandal. Pentagon had to rush to do some damage control. In a statement, Pentagon said Lieutenant Ambrose Finnegan was not the pilot of that plane. He was just a passenger of that plane. They didn't deny the cannibalism or anything, but they said Biden was not totally accurate.
Oh my God.
Now, this segment is called As Easy as PhD. What is easier, to become a woman or to get a PhD? They are equally easy because University of Sussex has awarded an honorary PhD to former stand-up comic Eddie Izzard, who now dresses and identifies as Susie Izzard, right? So being a woman is so easy. Not only by cross-dressing do you become a woman, but you also become an expert PhD level woman. Now, University of Sussex earlier this year was fined by the government £500,000 for failing to protect a professor, Professor Kathleen Stogg, because Kathleen Stogg was mobbed and bullied into resignation after she said men cannot become women. And now that same university has doubled down by awarding this honorary PhD in feminism to Eddie or Susie Izzard. Experts believe this will improve and boost the standing of University of Sussex in woke LGBT quarters, but it will have a negative impact on the standing of its biology department. Enrollments in the biology program have already declined sharply. And finally, the major scandal of the week, maybe we'll hear more about this later, but American Eagle is refusing to apologize for its controversial ad featuring a famous, attractive actress, Sydney Sweeney, in a generous cleavage shot. She talks about having great genes, and genes being a wordplay, genes of American Eagle, blue genes, but also genes of genetics. So the lefties went berserk. They said this is eugenics, this is eugenics, this is racist, this is Nazi. The thought, are you telling me that white women who are tall and fit and have ample bosoms, blonde hair, and blue eyes are more attractive than others, I don't buy it. I can't believe that. How can this thing be conceivable? Now, we contacted NBA players for comment. They were not available for comment because, as you've seen in all TV commercials, any black guy with a good job and nice house has a white wife. So that's the message. Don't shoot the messenger. I don't make the rules. These are the TV commercials that we watch on TV day in and day out. Anyway, I think that's about it. I hope I didn't scandalize you too much. Maybe tell us in the comment section which scandal was your favorite and what do you think about alligators and people working for HR? Back to you, Roger.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
That
Those
was
were
fantastic.
those were some great scandals. They were some really good, outrageous scandals. And, we hope to have you on regularly, and especially with all the stuff that's coming up every day, you should have some more great material, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Now, next, we've got our famous, lovely Gypsy traveling Jay Mack, another very famous and well-loved comedian. And Jay is going to come down and join us in a moment. You think what?
It's too sensitive.
No, really?
Yes.
It's like 1,000 clitorises all rolled into one.
Yeah,
Teresa tried her best.
I'm sure she did.
Okay, stop press food news. Greggs and KFC are creating a sausage roll drenched in KFC gravy. They're
Oh
calling
my
it the
God,
culinary
no.
crossover of the century.
Oh my God.
See, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this earlier.
Headlines in tomorrow's Daily Mail.
I was thinking earlier. It's funny how there's not many Greggs down south, and up north are everywhere, like Turkish barbers.
Let's make it
And
something.
And it's just down here. Fred Manju is just a middle class Greggs, isn't it?
That's it.
Legs-
Okay, quiet on the set.
We're entertaining ourselves back here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quiet on the set. Okay. So I've already done an introduction. So,
Yeah.
all right, everybody quiet, please. And then Jay, you just start when you're ready.
Yeah.
James, your camera's working too?
Seems to be, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so-
Well, we've managed to offend Donald Trump, who's now sitting in our lobby, probably waiting to get paid for a job he didn't do. He's going to be more sensitive than 1,000 clitorises. I was thinking when he was storming out, I was thinking, you never actually see a Kim Jong-un impersonator, do you? It's always Donald Trump. It's never anyone who's going to get assassinated, is it? It's a fucking shame. But yeah, no, I'm here to talk to you today about going woke, going broke. You'll remember the regrettable advert of November 2023 from Jaguar that had half a dozen androgynous models mincing around without a car with sledgehammers, saying things like destroy normality, making themselves look like haunted tampons. Well, it's all come home to roost now. The CEO of Jaguar has gone into retirement now for his failings, considering that since November 2023, Jaguar's overall sales have gone down 97%. He should have just been shot on sight, shouldn't he then? But it's not really about the quiz, though, is it? It is. It is.
Well, it
No,
is.
it
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
But it's like
The quiz make everything about the quiz.
and I can identify with them. I can. Do you know what sapiosexual is, James?
Oh, what, sorry?
A sapiosexual.
I've no idea what's that.
It's someone who's different. It's
Sapiosexual.
sapiosexual is someone who is attracted to the way that someone's mind works. They're attracted to.
Is that why I'm not attracted to you?
They're attracted to personality. Exactly. See, I'm different. I like slags.
Yeah.
I identify when people are different, you know, and it's not a surprise. I don't think what's happened to Jaguar. I don't know how they've managed to follow the suit of Bud Light, who lost something like 54 billion in revenue or market shares. You're a lawyer, you know this shit.
No, it's no surprise at all. Also, Jay, aren't you trying to get into, you know, you're looking for work, you're trying to get into something like CBBS or child birthday entertainment or something like that?
Yeah.
But you've had no looks thus far.
No, it's probably the
Do you think it's because you scare the children? Oh, okay.
At the end of the day, the elderly or Donald Trump impersonators. It's, you just never know when one is going to storm out of the room.
What about that woman with the jeans advert that's got all the controversy surrounding it? What's her name again?
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, you think she has a good bust?
Oh, she's got massive, incredible tits. Yeah. And it's, if that's what the far right are using to coax us into fascism, then I want my fucking uniform now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm all for eugenics.
Well, yeah, this is your new hobby,
It
side
is.
hobby that you found, eugenics, kind of genocide things. You're into genocide in quite a big way, aren't you?
Yeah, it's I'm more than an enthusiast. Yeah, it's I haven't quite gone pro. But I am.
No, amateur,
Yeah.
like genocide.
I mean, I went to Auschwitz recently, and because I get a lot of shit from Holocaust deniers, me being a Gypsy and whatnot. I get a lot of shit, and I said you can go to Auschwitz, you can have a look at the last surviving gas chamber. You know, it's still there. Imagine if that was in Britain, that had turned into a Wetherspoon.
Of course it would have. Yes.
It would, wouldn't it? And you know what they'd have called it? The gassy Jew. The gassy Jew. You know, it's,
Oh, this is going to do wonders for our YouTube audience.
it is, but it's one of those episodes, isn't it, Joe?
It's one of those episodes.
And I don't really have a point to where I'm going, if I'm honest. But
Well, on your YouTube channel, you tour around England. You report from places like Yorkshire, Jay Mack's.
Yes.
On Yorkshire, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Castleford.
Yeah. See, Castleman's an interesting fucking place because, you know, it's famous for its sweeping vistas of failing industry. And
Sweeping vistas and failing industry.
I think you said of the Castleford folk, it's not so much as a gene pool as much as it is a frog pond.
that's true. That's very true. Yeah, it's the people of Castleford. They're interesting because I like the people in Castleford. I do. They've got, you know, what they call disposable vapes are popular in Castleford. You know the type. Yeah. See, in Castleford, it's a form of wine tasting. You can see them queued up outside Greg's every morning, discussing notes of cherry bubblegum with undertones of universal credit. No, I love Castleford. You know, it's one of those places that, you know, God was having a day off when he created Castleford. He wasn't covered there.
God was having a day off.
Oh, he was, yeah.
When he
was having
created
a shit.
Castleford,
He
yeah.
was having a shit when he created
He was
Castleford.
having a shit.
Yeah, it's a lovely place. It's, you know, it's
And also in Yorkshire, your report from Yorkshire, you said something like, the world might end soon, but in Yorkshire, how would we even know?
how would we even know? You know, it's sort of horrifying to. I've tried to escape, James. I've tried to.
You're trying to
escape.
shag your way out.
I have. I've tried to shag my way into the middle classes, but they don't want me. You know, try it with that other bird that came earlier. She wasn't having it.
No, she wasn't having it.
Now she fucking stormed out, bitch. It's just one of those things, isn't it? I'll have to go back later on. after returning to my mattress on a fall. And it's
Oh my.
I love it. It's my pride and joy. But Castleford, it's a beautiful place. But that's
Excellent.
Have you been to Slough?
It's Slough. I haven't actually been to Slough. I don't suppose I've got any good drug dealers.
That's full of drug dealers, I'm
Oh, is
sure.
it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, if they were any good, Roger, I'd have been there. No.
Okay, well, I fear we have to move on, but thank you very much,
Probably do
Jay.
this, but
Let's hear it for Jay. We've got to move on because James is just bursting at the seams to tell you his story.
Yeah.
And
Visibly,
there you go,
yeah.
James.
Well, I was going to do a defense of cannibalism, then Roger said that was too silly. One can
He's going to make me eat my words.
So now what I've got to talk about is Labour government.
I don't want to make any bones about it.
No, what bones?
It's going
Labour.
to skin me alive.
Well, no. I prefer lamb to mutton, Roger. Honestly, that's why I source my meat in the local orphanage. You know. People don't miss the meat there.
they are making it halal now as well.
Oh God, halal orphanage.
Yeah.
Halal cannibals, huh?
Goodness me, what is it coming to? Anyway, no. So my subject now is the Labour government trying to sell off allotments. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. I was staying with my friend Gary, who you know, Roger.
What? The Labour government?
Are trying to sell off allotments.
Allotments where
Allotments.
people do gardening.
Yeah. Right.
This is like a Maggie Thatcher, like on your council home.
What else can they
Situation.
do? My God.
How further can they go? So I was
They're doing
staying
it to
with.
get at Corbyn.
Well, some people say that they were doing that to get back at Corbyn because he started his new party. I don't think that's the case. Anyway, yeah, they're trying to sell off the allotments. I was staying at my friend Gary's in Norfolk, as you know, Roger, past 4 days. And there, the farmers gave the land to the local council for the people, you know, so they could
To use for allotments.
to socialise, you know, older people, you know, some people that's the only place they can go to socialise. They can't afford the pubs now due to Labour, and it's like, you know, the fewer vegetables that are grown. I mean, they shoot themselves in the foot. This Labour government. The fewer vegetables that are grown, the fewer Labour voters there are. Is it not so? And it's like, I just think it's ridiculous. It's another thing. Like, yeah, as I say, Labour government wants to run pubs, down to business, destroy them because they fear the common man congregating with another common man, and blah blah blah. And that's where conspiracies are born, in pubs, in local places
Like
that.
they
Or
used
the
to be
allotments.
in 18th century coffee houses.
Exactly so.
Guy Fawkes
Exactly,
and-
Yeah.
exactly so.
Or in my case, crack houses.
Or in your case, crack houses.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, I don't know what anyone else has to add to that.
And they're selling the allotments in order to raise money for all.
What money can they raise from selling these allotments?
I
Not
don't
very
know.
much.
But it's councils that own the allotments, no?
Yes.
So how can the Labour government benefit from that?
They're giving them the power to sell them.
Yeah.
Whereas previously they
So it just goes to local government.
And then
Yes,
now Ed is the former policy head of the Brexit Party, and so he's the man who knows what he's talking about. So what do you think is behind all this, Ed?
Well, I think it is the cash strapped. They were supposedly, there was a 22 billion black hole, which everyone agreed was
Phony.
a lot of phony nonsense. But
like the 55 billion pound Bates Motel Hunt black hole before them.
right. But now,
It's 41 billion as of today.
and likely 50 by the time of the budget.
Yeah,
So
more.
more than double what she said had
Yeah.
been hidden by the previous Conservative
Yeah,
government. So they are looking for any ways they can bring in revenue. But although
It's
you know, allotments.
doubled. They've doubled it since, so they can't blame that on the Tories. Forgive me cutting over you, but
Exactly right.
they did as our Ange, our own,
Where is she?
as she's on holiday, our own, because Parliament's in recess, as you know, our own Angela Rayner impersonator, as she said, well, we did tell you we were the party of change, so that's why they're always changing things. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And it is supposedly Angela Rayner, the not our one, as you say, but the one, the real one, who's going to implement this.
Yeah.
But it is reportedly as an act of revenge against Corbyn for setting up this rival party.
Okay.
I don't buy that.
James doesn't believe it. I've seen a report, but I've said if it's true, then it's just another reason to show how vindictive they are, because they were vindictive against farmers. They're vindictive if you've got special needs children and you've sent them to private school. And
Jeremy Corbyn got an allotment then?
yes,
Yeah,
he's
so
famous
famous
for
this
being
year,
an allotment user.
Yeah, they're taking away his allotment, that's the point.
Can't they just sell his?
Well, I came up with a solution to fix the economy, the immigration crisis, and now I can work the allotment into it. When people get off the boats, we enslave them, because that's really good for economies. And then we could work on plantations, and we could become what?
But they don't allow any farming, plantation.
Yeah, well, yeah, so it swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Now, on my other show, I interviewed someone last week, and she saw the interview and told me I'm not allowed to release it.
No way.
And in that interview, she called for a new party called the Deport Party, and she wants to put all immigrants, legal and illegal, because we have too bloody many of them, on boats with a month's food and medicine. Is that not right, Mr.
That's
Producer,
right,
of my
yes,
other
yeah.
show?
Roger.
And send them out to sea.
Because it's empowering.
And I said, wait a
And
minute,
basically let them rot at sea.
let them, send them out to sea.
I'm illegal.
And I said, wait a minute,
Immigrant.
wait a minute. You can't do that to them. And what about children? Oh no, children aren't allowed on the boats. So I said, so you're gonna separate the children from their parents as well? And she said yes. So I'm not allowed to do anything with this interview, but I think that that's a,
It's a fucking solution.
and
isn't
she,
it?
yeah, she
No,
said,
I've got
what do
an
you think of
solution.
this? And I said, I think it's insane and inhumane. But it certainly makes good news. The
It certainly
Deport
does.
Party.
Yeah, but I've got a better solution, Roger.
Absolutely.
I said it on that other show that I was on previously to me joining you, which was to warm up the English Channel and introduce sharks.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's not like it's that natural policy that we're killing these people, but there's a danger there.
Because you are.
It's also like rewilding. isn't
Yeah.
it?
This is your first policy of your new party, your new political party.
Warm it up
The
and stop
Chemsex
it with
party.
piranhas.
Doesn't work.
Surprising,
Doesn't work because
yes.
posh people want to swim across the channel, so
Yeah.
sharks would be a problem.
Yeah.
Well,
They've got the
This is true.
marathon
it's
and
fucking right.
Yeah.
Seriously, fucking
Cross
right,
channel
that's
swimming.
right.
Well, I mean, you know, we've come up with no solution at all, but it's very entertaining. And anyway, please continue with your story, James. Is there anything else?
Well, I do have a story that I didn't have a chance to relay on previous episodes, which is a very short one. I said it on In Focus actually. So this woman called, I think she's dead now, so I can name her and we can bleep out a name if she's not dead and is going to sue. Val
Well, I
Turner.
think it could dig her up, and she might.
Well, yes, exactly the same.
We are slagging people off now, so just
Left, right,
outside
and
the
centre.
room.
You know,
We still have a bit of time before
you've
we
heard
have
of
to-
zombie suits.
Yes,
You know.
yes. Well, okay, this woman called Val Turner. When I lived in Derbyshire, she had a ranch. She was friends with Deborah Devonshire, who lived in Chatsworth House in Derbyshire. Val Turner was completely insane. She had all these illegal Poles working for her, undocumented. No one knew that they were living there with her on her ranch. And I went into a house or cottage, whatever it was, at one point, and she had all this cat food. I said, Val, what are you doing with all this cat food? You don't have any cats. And then she just kind of grunted and gestured her head towards the poles, like, "Ugh." So she was feeding the illegal poll workers this cat food out of tins. And
That's awful.
yeah, it was awful. And then every time I visited her, there'd be less poles there, fewer and fewer poles. And there would always be some kind of stew on the pot boiling. I'd say, what are you cooking, Val?
Cat.
Well, no, it wasn't cat. I said, what are you cooking, Val? What's in the stew? And she'd look at me like with this death stare and said, meat is neat. So I always assumed it was the poles.
Yeah. That's so inhumane. We all know that.
What do you know? He managed to squeeze in his cannibalism story.
I did anyway.
Yeah.
Yes,
He
yes.
did, he did. Oh, go on, tell us the cannibal story. Go on.
If you want to talk about cannibalism, Moroccans are very good this time of year.
Quite tasty, yeah.
They're tasty because they don't need any seasoning or spices. They smell and taste like that anyway, don't they? Also, this is another different type of meat. It needs some tenderizing, but it's quite good for a stew. Roma Gypsy meat.
Oh, I hear that's very good.
Well, the last nurse who took a drug test from me is now still in rehab. So I wouldn't recommend it.
The meat has been marinated for a while, so it should be okay.
Jay Mack's been well marinated.
The fucking French should eat me.
I don't know.
I had an argument with Nicholas in a big way earlier today.
You did?
And then I thought, I did. And then I thought, well, what's the point in arguing when you can just make up and
Sit on the couch.
have him for dinner? You know?
Yeah.
That's
And
a
that's
good-
why I don't go to his house.
Right, well, I guess that wraps up this enchanting evening of total cock-up, utter useless nonsense, total waste of time and space.
Next time it's a cock up, make sure it doesn't go in your eye.
Absolutely. But we hope that you've enjoyed it. We have, as always, had a great time, and we hope we haven't frightened you off, and that you'll come back again next week, and that you'll actually join us here in our studio someday, any Wednesday evening. And thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Au revoir.
I haven't been this overwhelmed since I was Angela Rader's social worker.
That's Ed, right?